Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, I am at Drop the Hammer, and no, I'm not going to take it. Why? Because nobody is here. I feel like every time I get here, nobody is here, and I'm not going to do it by myself. And I need a lead in. But I will show it to you, and you get an idea how big it is based on my bike. And honestly, I'm not afraid of this. I just want to know the speed. Because this, when I think about the one in Monarch up in Minnesota, it's not much smaller than this. This is a little bit bigger than that one, but it's pretty close. So this is plenty doable. And then what's cool is it goes down and around, and there's another drop there, and so a step up and so on. So I am going to be down here in May, and I will definitely take this because I'll be here with people and be riding with some people and stuff during the bike festival. So I won't be worried about riding it if I have some people with me. It's even sloped a little bit, so it just, gosh, and actually, the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, not even that scary. Cool. So what I am going to do is I'm going to keep climbing to the top because I want to take Fireline. That is a super cool trail. It's a blue flow trail. I took it many years ago, and they've redone a lot of work on it and improved it some. And it was just a super fun trail, kind of my speed, where you're just going fast. You got some jumps and rollers and things like that, but there's nothing too extreme. There are some bigger jump line trails off of here, and I actually took that one there a couple years ago to get here, and that drop's pretty fun. It's kind of a little off camber one or whatever. So there you have it. Here we go, Fireline. So this trail, if I remember right, hopefully it still has its same character. Just berms, flow, table. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that didn't have much of a lip to it. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. Oh, that's... Oh. Thank you. Oh, what is this? Oh, wasn't even sure. Didn't know what it was. Not going fast enough now because I slowed down, not knowing what that wooden thing was. Bummer. Oh well, still a blast. So this whole Kohler section, and then they have what's called the hub at the top, just kind of the different offshoots, the different trails. Right where I started on Fireline there, they basically have a paved trail that climbs you all the way up there, which is kind of nice. If you want to lap it, you just climb. I mean, it's kind of a narrow, just paved trail that takes you right up to where Drop the Hammer is and continues on all the way up to the hub. There's other ways up there if you want more challenging climbing, but that's by far the easiest climbing. Now I'm heading back over to the other trailhead at the other end, because there's a dual slalom kind of downhill course there that I want to do a couple runs on. Thunderdome. Oh, that inside of the turn, they're loose. Get up to speed again. Oh. This one takes some practice, learning to get the right line. So this is what's called the masterpiece, and this is like one of those things where you know money is involved, because this is like clearly a mountain bike feature. This cool bridge, and you come downhill there. I'm gonna check really quick. I know there's a kid going up to run it again, and he came really close to clearing it. I have yet to come close. Okay, there he goes there, so I don't see anybody else coming. Okay. But just so you can see it from this perspective, there's the outside lip. You can certainly take this run, so you don't have to jump it, but that lip is if you're just hauling and you really want to send it and try to clear it. And I'm actually curious to know if this kid is going to come try to send it. So I'll stay here and film him if he does. Here it comes. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, you got to be hauling. He's that kid. No way. Huh. You got to be going so fast. Woo, you got to be going really fast. I definitely have to say that I haven't been riding with this hub now for a couple of days. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the buzzing, but it's pretty loud. That thing's fun. Oh, there's one more. Yeah, I preloaded funny on that second one. So yeah, I don't know, the Industry 9 Hydro Hub. Some people really like it, and they like that it makes this noise. Some people not so much. I might be in the not so much camp. I mean, I love the fact that when I start pedaling, it's like instant engagement, even at a higher speed. Wish it was just quieter. So it's got two sections. It's got this section, which I will go up there and show you and actually ride, where you have 3 really low level drops that can be practiced on. And then it's got all these different jump lines. So this jump line closest to me is like kind of rollers pumping, and then next to it, the next one over could be like a very beginner kind of table right there. And then, you know, some other ones, like you see those two, one that's kind of smaller and then one a little bit bigger right here. Excuse the wind. And they're side by side. It stops focusing on my hand. And then you got these last ones, which are all tables. They don't have a huge distance to cross. Super nice, like just kids and beginners can learn on this stuff here, and then as they get better they move over to the bigger stuff and just evolve their skill set. And then over on the other side they have 3 more like drop lines, and I'll go show you those. So then from here you can see it's well signed and beginner zone with the green circle, and then over here are the different jumps. And if you come up here, you have the different chutes that one can take. So you have this beginner one here. So totally learn how to pop and jump and clear those little ones. And you got the next row, a little bit bigger, and you've got the outside row with even bigger jumps. So the more advanced riders can jump those. And then that jump in the distance is part of this other drop line. So you can do absolute low drop. I'm gonna be in your way for a sec. So you got the absolute low drop. They call this the extra small, like literally like curb size. Then you go a little bit bigger, and then you go even bigger, and that's still not even that big. So then for riders, once they get comfortable with that, they can go and hit those there, the first two having safety decking, and then that bigger one on the end. So that's how this is like a perfect bike park for all skill levels. So for me, I have fun jumps. And here's the intermediate zone. And 3 drops here. And you can see the bike park down there. And then I'll just go right to this left one, hit the big one. So people can learn on these over here, work their way up to the big one. So this is brand new. I was told it was just opened up on Friday, and I hit it a couple times yesterday. My footage got goofed up yesterday because I had this wind slayer thing on my GoPro and it got all like covering the bottom half of the lens, and I didn't know it because I had it mounted on my helmet. And so yeah, all the footage was pretty crappy then. So I'll redo this. This is such a nice sender. That transition, you just come at it fast after doing a couple jumps back there, and it just floats you over this bridge. Super nice. And then a couple shark fins down there. So yeah, I'll head up to the top. I don't have anybody to film for me. It's pretty busy here, so it's hard to nice. It's hard to like set up a camera and then go ride. Plus the runs are pretty long and involve climbing hills and stuff like that. So it'll just have to be POV footage for now. All right, here I go. just roll in, perfect speed for everything. Whoop, that time I was a little front end. Let's see here. Woo, yeah. Woo. Fun. I got a little weird takeoff on one of those jumps, but wow, that wooden table is so perfect. Just float over it. So I'm heading over to this I don't remember what they call it, but it's like the medieval area because it's all named after medieval things. I'll put the name down here once I get up there and can see it. But I'm heading up there, but the thing is there's storms rolling in here in a little bit, so I gotta get in a couple laps and get back soon. So I don't know if I'll be able to do any more riding tomorrow. We'll have to see how these storms play out, and then tomorrow's gonna be significantly colder, but significantly colder like in the mid-50s. So if it's dry, still rideable. So we'll see. Now for the big climb, because to get up here you gotta climb, but it's worth it because the downs are so fun. So this is why I call it the medieval castle or whatever this thing is. It's got knights as you come into the trailhead. Pretty funny. Oh, there's medieval right there. The flag says Oz Trails. So I took this one yesterday, but my filming got all screwed up. Maybe I'll do it again here. So I'm gonna take the Lone Wolf. Right after this, I'll insert my clip of dragon scales. But Lone Wolf is interesting because it's not really a jumpy trail. It's just, I mean, I guess you can call this loam. It's just a rugged, rough, kind of downhill trail. So if you like this kind of stuff, this is, I've got it. Oh, watch that root. This is not the kind of riding I generally like to do. I'm a flow trail jump guy, but might as well show you. Oh, I didn't know what this was. See, I don't like to hit things if I don't know what they are. That's a big gap. So I suppose if I knew what that was. So that's Lone Wolf, which is pretty much, I don't know why they consider it a expert trail, I guess. But definitely, you know, a lot of people will mention in the comments, well, why don't you do this trail, why don't you do that? It's like, I'm not a North Shore, like to ride big nasty rock sections kind of rider. Come from BMX, I like the flow, I like the jumps, that kind of stuff. But you know, I can see why people think that stuff is fun, especially if you have like the bike for it, like a longer travel, slacker, all that stuff. We'll do dragon scales, but even Lone Wolf, I did that last year and they didn't seem, there weren't jumps, it was all like just rugged downhill like this stuff. So I guess I don't know how expert I would consider this versus just being a rough trail, but yeah, I mean, I suppose requires some skill to pick a good line and stuff like that. Oh. Well, these bird wheels survive that. They'll survive almost anything. Alright, I said I'd do this one, so I'll do this one. If I'm not too worn out with all the jumping I've been doing. I know there's a couple jumps at the bottom of this that are pretty big, but otherwise all these are very doable. Whew. Lots of fun flowy burns. Ooh, little slide there. That's probably what I'm more nervous about, is sliding in the burns. Like that, like I just, I almost, if I would have tucked up my back wheel, I would have had that. But I set myself up to case it. Nice. That's a fun trail. If I had more time to practice it, I would get it. Oh, and the sun's coming out before the big storms. One thing I have to learn on this bike is picking up the front end. So Bentonville just has a ridiculous amount of trails, and this is like, so this whole section is Slaughter Pen, and then the section I was at earlier today is Kohler. And there's even, I mean, I've touched on maybe what, 15-20%, maybe 20% of the trail here at Slaughter Pen. There's a lot of trails. And then the back 40, I think that's what they call it, or I don't even know how much trail, but when you look at it on a map, it's way bigger area than Slaughter Pen and Kohler. So Bella Vista, that's it, Bella Vista. So after riding this for a ways, I like to take Black Apple Creek back up to town, because otherwise you're just climbing, and it's pretty boring. This is a nice, fun, extremely beautiful single track and fairly easy. Not a lot of hard climbing, because it's kind of a gradual climb here and there. So this gets me to thinking about Bentonville. Like, most of what you see, you know, even on my channel, it's like, oh, the jumps, the drops, the rad stuff, whatever. But the reality is there's a lot of this kind of good flow, easy to ride single track that just can be enjoyable for anybody. And I say that mountain biking has a marketing problem sometimes, because whenever you see it in media or social media, it's always somebody jumping, somebody doing drops, somebody riding down some gnarly rock feature or whatever. And yet this, what I'm doing right here, is what mountain biking is. This is what got it started. This is what people have been doing for a long time, is just riding nice single track through the woods. Granted, this particular trail is super well groomed. Not all trails will be this well groomed. Some will have trees a little closer in, you're a little tighter. I prefer that kind of single track trail, but either way, this is mountain biking. So don't let the marketing fool you into thinking you can't do this. Because anybody can do this. If you can ride a bicycle, you can do this. And of course there's the tunnel, which is kind of cool. I guess the creek has to keep going, so they got the channel on the right, tunnel going through the middle. Super cool. And then you pop out onto this other side, and there's like this little pond. I mean, little waterfall pond. Super cool. And this is the trail. Like, pretty amazing if you ask me. Cool. So pretty in here. Wow.
Going.
Hey. Appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe right down there. Hit that button. Peace.